Hi everyone. Hey, I wanted to share something with you today that does not require any kind of props that I have been using. But first I wanted to let you know I'm fresh from the barn, so obviously the hair is pulled back. I've got the 16 layers on because it's about 20 degrees here, but just had a fabulous time. But here's what I wanted to share with you. When I was out at the barn, one of the things that I thought of was the leadership that I need to have with my new horse, Elvis. He is a just coming 3-year-old, and he is very spooky. He's very unconfident himself. So after a bout of strangles, unfortunately, for the last 8+ weeks, we had to suspend our training for that entire time, and so we're just coming back to our training that we were doing together. So there's a point here, and it's all about fear and confidence, and it's about sharing or changing, rather, the story that you might have or the ending that you might have with a particular fear that you have. So here's the thing. Many of you have watched my trampling video series. There's 3 of them, when Murphy trampled me a couple of years ago, accidentally, of course. But I didn't realize that there was still a little bit of fear left over from that. So in steps Elvis. And what I realized was that every time Elvis spooked, because of him being unconfident and kind of shy, and I was actually going to call him Twitch because he would do this and this and this all the time, but I kept Elvis. But every time he did that, I was afraid that he would jump on top of me just like Murphy did. So here's what I started to do. I started to actually figure out that, or I started to actually visualize that Elvis would jump on top of me and then I would be underneath him and I would get trampled again. Not a good thing to think about. So here's what I did. I changed the story. I changed the outcome. So what I did was I thought about and I visualized very, very thoroughly, using all of my senses, my sight, my smell, the sound, hearing, feeling, everything. I used it all, and I created this visual of Elvis and I walking up this particular hill that we have at the barn that I board at. And what I visualized was that we were walking up the hill and that he shied. But instead of jumping on top of me, what he did was he shied. What I did was I raised my hands in order to protect myself and my space. And at that point, he did a pivot on his he did a pivot on his hind end and ran away, ran down the hill. But I had enough of a lead rope. I had a 22-foot lead rope, so that I had enough drift to be able to catch him. And so by the time his adrenaline started to wear off a little bit, I was able to bring him back to me nice and gently, and he was able to calm down and realize that what he had spooked at was not anything to worry about. And then we continued up the hill together. So that changed the story. So I did that visualization over and over and over again until it was something that just came very naturally to me. And lo and behold, the next time I took Elvis out and I was walking him past some of the things that I knew that he would spook at, he spooked, I held my arms up, he drifted, he came back, and we were absolutely fine. So give it a try. Change the ending of your story where you have fear and make it an ending that is going to work well for you. Thanks, everyone.